You wake up feeling okay, maybe even good. You eat breakfast, go about your morning, and then it hits you. That wave, that crash. Your hands feel shaky, your head feels foggy, you can't think straight. You're irritable for no reason you can explain to the people around you. You're exhausted even though you slept. And the worst part? You don't even know why it keeps happening to you. I know that feeling. I lived inside that feeling for a long time. And I want you to know right now, before we go any further, that what you're experiencing is not weakness. It's not laziness. It's not in your head. Your body is sending you signals, and nobody taught you how to read them. That changes today. Because what I'm about to share with you changed everything for me. Not some complicated medical protocol, not a list of foods you can never eat again. Something simple, something real, something that actually worked when nothing else did. And in just a few minutes, you're going to understand your body in a way that most people never do. Now, before I go deeper into exactly what I ate to stabilize my blood sugar, I want to mention something quickly. We do have a program linked down below in the video description that goes far beyond what I can cover in one video. People who follow it have reported transformations in their energy, their mood, their weight, and their overall quality of life within weeks. Not months, weeks. And honestly, not everyone who needs it actually acts on it. Most people watch, feel inspired for a moment, and then go back to doing exactly what wasn't working. If that's you, I understand, but I really hope today is different. Now let's get into this. Let me paint you a picture of what blood sugar chaos actually looks like from the inside, because I want you to feel seen right now. You eat something, anything. Toast, a granola bar, a bowl of cereal that the box told you was healthy. And within an hour, maybe less, your energy spikes and then drops off a cliff. You feel desperate for more food even though you just ate. You reach for something sweet because your body is screaming for it. You give in. The cycle starts again, and by 2 in the afternoon, you are barely functioning. You're sitting there staring at a screen and you have zero ability to focus. Your brain feels like it's wrapped in cotton. People ask you questions and you have to really fight to form a sentence. And then comes the guilt, because you feel like you should be doing better. You feel like everyone else seems to have it together and you don't. You wonder if something is seriously wrong with you. You wonder if this is just who you are now. It is not who you are. It is what you've been eating. And the difference between those two things is everything. Here is what's actually happening inside your body when your blood sugar spikes. You eat something high in simple carbohydrates or sugar. Your blood glucose shoots up fast. Your pancreas panics and floods your bloodstream with insulin to bring that glucose back down. But it often overcorrects. Your blood sugar drops too low too fast. And that crash is when you feel all of it. The shakes, the fog, the mood crash, the desperate hunger, the fatigue. That entire experience is called reactive hypoglycemia, and it is incredibly common and almost never talked about in plain language. Now here is the moment everything started to shift for me, and I want you to really stay with me here because this is where it gets interesting. I stopped thinking about food as just food. I started thinking about food as information. Every single thing you put in your mouth sends a signal to your body. Some signals are calm and steady. Some signals are like setting off a fire alarm inside your cells. And once I understood that, I could finally make choices that actually made sense. The first thing I changed was the order in which I ate my food. Not what I ate, the order. Research shows that eating fiber and protein before carbohydrates during the same meal can significantly reduce the blood sugar spike from those carbohydrates. Significantly. We're talking about the same meal producing a dramatically different response in your body depending on what you put in your mouth first. I started eating my vegetables or my protein before I touched anything starchy. That alone made a noticeable difference within days. Days, not weeks. Days. The second thing I did was add a fat source to every single meal. Fat slows digestion. When digestion slows down, glucose enters your bloodstream more gradually. Gradually means no spike. No spike means no crash. I started eating things like avocado, eggs, nuts, olive oil, full-fat yogurt, not because some trend told me to, because I felt the difference every single day in my energy, my clarity, my mood. And here's something that hit me hard when I really thought about it. I had been spending years feeling terrible and I thought it was just life. I thought, this is what it feels like to be an adult. To be busy. To be stressed. But it wasn't life. It was blood sugar. And when I fixed that one thing, entire categories of suffering disappeared. My afternoon crashes stopped. My cravings for sugar dropped dramatically. I stopped feeling panicked and irritable before meals. I woke up with actual energy. I stopped needing caffeine every 2 hours just to function. My sleep improved because blood sugar instability at night disrupts sleep architecture in ways most people don't realize. My relationships improved because I stopped being inexplicably moody and short with the people I cared about. That is not a small list. That is a life transformation. And it came from food. The third thing I changed was adding protein to my breakfast specifically. Most people eat breakfast foods that are almost entirely carbohydrate. Cereal, toast, juice, pastries, pancakes. Your body gets hit with a glucose flood first thing in the morning and you are chasing your tail for the rest of the day trying to recover from that one meal. I switched to eggs, to Greek yogurt with no sugar, to cottage cheese, to leftovers from dinner if that's what I had, and my mornings became a completely different experience. I was calm, I was focused. I didn't think about food again for hours. The fourth thing was vinegar before meals. I know that sounds strange, but apple cider vinegar diluted in water before eating has been shown in multiple peer-reviewed studies to blunt the blood sugar response to a meal. It works by slowing gastric emptying and interfering with enzymes that break down carbohydrates. 1 to 2 tablespoons in a big glass of water before you eat. That's it. Simple, cheap, effective. The fifth thing I changed was walking after meals. Not a workout, not a gym session, a 10 to 15-minute walk. When your muscles are moving after eating, they absorb glucose from your bloodstream independently of insulin. That means your blood sugar comes down faster and more gently without the crash. Studies have shown that a short walk after eating can reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 30%. 30% from a walk around the block. Now I want to stop here for a second because I can feel where you might be right now. You might be thinking this sounds manageable. You might also be thinking, I've tried things before and they worked for a little while and then they didn't. I hear you. I really do. Because the problem isn't motivation. You have motivation. You're here. You're watching this. The problem is that most people don't have a structured system that holds all of this together and builds it into a life that actually feels sustainable. That's the piece most people are missing. Not information, structure, support. A path that someone who has already done it has laid out clearly. And that's exactly what the program linked below in the description is designed to provide. But I'm going to let you decide when you're ready. Let's keep going. The sixth change I made was removing liquid sugar almost entirely. Juice, soda, energy drinks, sports drinks. These are blood sugar disasters, even the ones marketed as healthy. Your body processes liquid sugar with terrifying speed because there's no fiber, no fat, no protein to slow it down. It hits your bloodstream like a freight train. I replaced these with water, sparkling water, herbal tea, black coffee without sweeteners. And the shift in my energy stability was immediate and dramatic. The seventh thing was choosing carbohydrates that come with fiber intact. White bread, white rice, regular pasta. These are stripped of their fiber during processing. That fiber is the key. Fiber is what slows glucose absorption. So I switched to things like lentils, beans, oats, sweet potatoes, whole grain options when I wanted them. I didn't eliminate carbohydrates, I just chose smarter versions of them. And here's something I want you to really sit with. People who figure this out early don't spend years feeling exhausted and foggy and out of control. They feel good consistently. They perform better at work. They show up better in their relationships. They carry less inflammation in their bodies. They sleep more deeply. They don't develop the long-term consequences that blood sugar instability can lead to over time, including serious metabolic conditions that are far harder to reverse than to prevent. The cost of doing nothing is enormous, and it's invisible until it isn't. The people who take action on what they learn, who take the next step and implement a real system, they get results that compound over time. Better energy leads to more movement. More movement leads to better sleep. Better sleep leads to better food choices. Better food choices lead to more stable mood. Stable mood leads to better relationships and performance. One domino. That's all it takes to start. If you feel like something has been off in your body for a long time, and you've been waiting for someone to finally explain it in a way that makes sense, I hope today gave you that. And if you're ready to go beyond what one video can give you and actually follow a step-by-step path built around everything I've shared today and more, the program in the description below is there for you. Most people will hesitate. Most people will tell themselves they'll start tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. The ones who act right now, today, in this moment, are the ones who look back 6 weeks from now barely recognizing how they used to feel. That person can be you. The link is right there.